What's up, everybody? How is everybody's day going? Alright, NVIDIA Quadro 400. I think it's as simple as making sure this latch is open. Right here. Is there even a latch? What's the latch? That's a latch. Alright, making sure that latch is open. And putting it in. Alright. Doesn't like stick. So what? Do I just close the latch? Latch won't close. That means it's not in enough, I guess. Okay, that closed. Doesn't really seem like it's in the other side. It like goes up. So, what to do? It's like with any mechanical thing, you never know if you're going hard or not hard enough. I'm gonna put on this grounding band because why not? I guess safety. Electronic component safety. I'm going to try and release this latch. That released fine. And now it just closed on itself again. So yeah, I'm a little confused because it just looks like the side that's closest to me is going down deeper than the other side. So I'm going to try and look in and just see if the pins are touching, because if the pins are touching, I don't know how much it really matters. As long as it lines up with this case here later. I have a case to my left, you can't really see. And it should be fine. I think it's going to be touching those pins. Right? Like, that looks better actually now. I still wish there was some sort of like click on the other side. You know, it's not my favorite. It worries me a little. It's like if all the pins aren't connecting, is it going to short something? But I mean, okay, the CPU is in, the RAM is in, the graphics card is in. That's one thing I wanted to look up fans. Which way the fans blow. What else? Is there anything else that needs to go in before we test this motherboard? I think I might have to attach the cooler fans. The like the CPU cooler fan. I think I may need to attach in order to test the motherboard. Whoa. Let's see. See a quick. To attach CPU cooler test motherboard. You do not necessarily need to do it. Oh no. Alright, we lost power. I can't if you're chatting to me now for the next little bit. I look forward to having a new laptop, or even just like I might move another computer here so that I don't have this ridiculous problem of the PC just booting off. Linux power management on Macs, no good, or at least I'm trying to remember if I even no, that's right. I'm having Nix problems, um, which I think are fixable. It just requires me to code in Nix probably, and so stuff that like it's not really like I haven't done it a lot. It takes me forever to figure stuff out. Um, okay, just pulling this stream back up. Ugh. No, I don't want to restore. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's keep this real low, man. All right. Yeah, all right, let's just, maybe we can run. Maybe we can run. We're just gonna run a video that says how to test this specific motherboard. Testing Asus Tough Gaming B550 plus Wi-Fi. No, I didn't want to do that actually. Please don't die on me. Please don't die on me. I wanted the YouTubes. It's like, I wonder if it's like a psychological hiccup or something. It's like, if there's like someone in the house, I will talk to myself some. If there's no one in the house, I think usually I won't. Just like in any house that I'm in. In any space, it's like this weird, like, I don't know. I do wonder what type of psychological thing, if any. Maybe it's in this 2 hour and 20-minute long thing that streamed 2 years ago. Maybe that's the secret. This person's using so many of the same components as I am for this build 2 years ago. So let's see. When I popped off.
Looks like we're live. Hi, I'm going to be.
Mike, let's get to the point in the build where you test the PC. Can we do that? Looks like you have it open here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not in it today, man. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I hate that I just said that. Such a like strange phrase. I'm really not in it today, like mentally with this, so we may not even get that far. I may unplug the GPU and we just quit out because I do not want to break anything while I'm figuring this out. I think I am. I think I gotta figure this out on my own. I think I'm gonna kill this stream, guys. Unless you want to help me figure it out. I guess I could watch it, but just watch this video. That's what I do when I'm not streaming. I'm trying to learn. Usually I'm usually reading or watching something about like how to do the stuff that I end up doing on stream. So, whoops. It's very difficult to use a trackpad. Yeah, it's very difficult to use a track with, as a matter of fact, I think, let's see, I'm going to see if, well, I'm not going to use the trackpad. I'm done using this trackpad. I'm going to use a mouse. That'll make things easier, make things quicker. Sometimes I feel silly streaming when like no one's here, but I don't know. Maybe it's fine. It does streamline things to a certain degree. All right. Note to self: the USB into the HDMI slot. All right, we got a mouse, right? Yeah, we got a mouse. We got a mouse. Okay. Let's see. We're at this video called Michael the Computer Guy. I guess I'll put this in the chat. Oh, I'm gonna need a screen, aren't I? Yeah.
Set them in there. Access cooler hardware. Let's see. This stuff. Your desktop and your pictures and your video folders and windows to that extra drive, and it's kind of apparent to the end user because they click on the File Explorer and click on Downloads, and there's their downloads, and click on Photos, and there's their photos.
Man, it's so annoying when things don't have chapters. I guess my stuff doesn't always have chapters. Like going through and make chapters though is like, I don't know, man. I guess apparently the AI does it for you after you have a certain number of subscribers or whatever. No. Maybe I read that wrong.
Still working? That's my first question to you. Does it still work? I mean, a pot could have been your corn pots in the morning.
I just want to know what needs to be plugged in order to test this thing, and I don't want to miss anything. Like, that's the only thing that I'm looking to know right now. Because I just, like, if I try it and it doesn't work, that's fine. If I try it and I'm thinking that's not really fine, I guess it's, it's not the end of the world. I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I'm being too cautious with this build. What needs to be plugged into the motherboard in order to test it? YouTube. I'm also just gonna look up how to testing a motherboard. We'll just see how that goes. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can do that. Right. Why am I using this? When I popped off, what needs to be plugged? Motherboard. No, that's not testing a motherboard. All right, this looks like a.
Hey guys, it's Tech.
No. I figure you yapping.
Video. I'll make you do that test a motherboard and CPU, so that way you make sure they work before you put them in your PC case, or just how to test a motherboard, so that way you don't get skinned if you're buying a third-hand market. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that here today. Because you guys know
People who build PCs are such a type right now. I don't think it's going to be the same in like 10 years. Maybe it'll take longer, but.
gaming motherboard that actually died on me during a power outage. However, I'm pretty confident to say the CPU is still alive. If you're wondering what CPU this is the i9 9900K. That's right, the insane gaming CPU. So hopefully it's not dead. But what we're going to do here today is we're going to test this CPU and test the motherboard we're going to pick up from Face Marketplace at a coffee shop. And I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do in order to make sure everything works. Make sure you just don't have a bad board or a bad CPU. So before we go, I want to tell you guys what you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need a motherboard and CPU. And of course, on top of that, you will need a power supply and also a GPU. And the reason why we're bringing a GPU with us for just the test is because we plug it into our motherboard, make sure we have a video out. Because if we get a video out, that means the motherboard and you are processing right now. And we get a signal. That's a
Hasn't mentioned RAM yet.
inside. We don't get a signal. Yeah, that's bad. And the other thing we will need on top of those is a screwdriver that actually uses to turn on the motherboard. You guys have to do that here. So I got the motherboard and everything from that guy, and I've already did it in work.
Yeah, it didn't mention the RAM, which something else said was essential. Really is like, oh snap, I didn't want to go that hard. There's really like, just the doc, like, I really should just sit down with a book and read through electronics, but this build made sense to, I guess, to happen now. At least that's the way it felt at the time when I started it. So it's happening, but it has pushed everything around in my schedule a bit because it just means like kind of learning some stuff quickly, which is not. I tend to like to learn things slowly.
Perfectly fine, which I'll show you guys later here. Put that to confirm. But what you need to do when you actually set up a PC, you have to do things. First of all,
Okay, dude does have he cut to this thing. I guess I should throw this in the chat now too. He cut to this thing, and so he has everything already plugged in. He's like, "Oh, I tested it, it worked." So I guess maybe now he's going to tell me how he tested it, but he has RAM plugged in. So I don't know. Maybe I feel like he probably had the RAM plugged in when he tested it. So let's see.
you have your CPU installed into the motherboard, so we can test both of them. We use our GPU since we do not have onboard integrated graphics. We also have our RAM right here installed perfectly fine. Now we installed it, of course, in the actual 2 and 4 slot. Actually, just installed in the wrong slot. Let me fix that. I think it was 6.
Dude installed it in the wrong slot. What am I installed in? 1 and 3 or 2 and 4? I think I'm in 2 and 4. I think those are the right ones. I got that from a manual. Maybe the motherboard manual.
Make sure your RAM is installed in the right slots. So you can see earlier I installed it in the 1 and 2 slots. Make sure it's installed in, say, the 2 and 4 slots.
I'm tempted to bring that up. All right, let's see. I was just bringing up the motherboard manual. I was going to skim it in case there's anything I missed. In case there's anything I missed. Okay, no, I already have it. Right. What? Darn it. Alright, that's the manual.
Slots like you see here, which is good to go. So the last thing you need to do to make sure your actual motherboard and CPU work to actually test it is adding your PSU. Now, this is of course the other thing you're going to need to actually test. All you want to do is there are only 3 connectors you need to use from this. So first of all, your 24 pin for the actual motherboard, the power board.
Okay, it says to plug in 24 pin. It also says there's only 3 that I need to use. This is what I put this in the title. This is what I wanted to test. On this power supply unit is CPU PCIe, right? So there's those little plugs, and I want to test those as outgoing. Like, what is on my repair mat here? I don't know what it is. I don't like it. Is it sealing stuff? I don't like this. This is no good. Yeah, I wanted to test that to make sure that the power supply is putting the correct amount of voltage to the CPU. I don't know how. I think I should just plug the thing in, plug the thing into. So here's what I think I would do. Here's my theory and my concern. My theory is that I would just plug the thing in to the CPU part where I just showed you, and then I would touch the grounding. I would touch a grounding probe. I'd use a multimeter. I would touch a grounding probe to the grounding side of that, of those little I just showed you, and touch the red to the other side, the live to the other side, and that would just give me a reading. That's what I would assume that I would do. That's what logged me. My concern would be that my concern is always just that I short something, right? It's always that I touch the electrical thing, I miss something, right? Like, because if I have the PSU booted up with a paperclip like this, a paperclip just gives me a lot of confidence in general. It's like, I'm like, you're doing stuff with a paperclip. It's like, it doesn't feel professional or something. So, yeah, if I really knew what I was doing, I wouldn't be worried. But because I don't really know what I'm doing, it's like, you don't do that, So I might just end up plugging this in to the motherboard and plugging everything into the motherboard and risking it. Anyway, story time's over. Time to continue.
So we're just going to plug that on in. Next up, you will need your PCIe cable if you do not have an APU on your actual motherboard. It looks like APU, CPU, but we're not going to worry about that now. So we're going to plug this into our GPU cord.
Doesn't look like anything plugs into the GPU cord. Don't want this either. So Guess I'm going to take this out. Probably should have taken that out earlier. I don't know if it really matters. Just testing the magneticness. All right, what are we doing here? We get some leverage, I guess. I don't know if it's really leverage. Like, what is this all about? This came with the GPU. And it's like an HDMI thing, except you know when one side of the HDMI is flat, I forget what that's called. On the other side, I talked about it in a different stream, but it's just like that plugs into the GPU. You know, does that then plug directly into a monitor? Maybe I should. Yeah, I'm gonna look that. Maybe I won't look that up right now, but I am gonna write it down just that I remember. Let's see. Look up. All right. GPU Quadro P400 female part input. I don't know. I don't understand what those are about. Okay. That is now wood. That makes me happy. The motherboard is on the cardboard thing. I think should double check that to see if that's correct. And this is supposed to be plugged into a 24-pin situation. So, what? All right, whatever. That cannot stretch. That should be able to stretch. Test bench point 1 is not amazing. Okay, that's plugged. Is this plugged in? That is plugged in. Oh man, I tell you, I'm not looking forward to cable management, or maybe I am. So something of an art form.
And then finally, you'll need the last cable, which is the CPU, which you can see says CPU in there. However, this plugged in. This one's kind of just tough to plug in and unplug. I also don't have particularly the best grip right now because I've been testing all day. It's just make sure that plug that. Once you have these 3 connectors, all you have to do is get your dusty power cable, plug this on into your PSU. Then all you need to do is power the.
Okay. The CPU cable. This one says CPU on it. As you can see, it says CPU right here. And on the other side, it says Type 4. Now, what I was confused about, and I talked about this in probably another stream or video for this series, is on this, there is 4 different things that this could plug, say CPU/PCIe. So I don't know, like on the motherboard, there's only one, like you see the end of this, there's only one of these that plugs into that says, I'm pretty sure it says CPU. Where's my light? Okay. Yeah, so that says EATX 12 volt. Now that's because I thought this was an ATX board, not an ATX board. Did I buy the wrong motherboard? Oh, that would be a bummer. Honestly, I mean, I don't think. I guess. Where's the pin that says CPU? Whatever. I mean, it should be that one. Now I'm like, is this gonna fit in? Just want to test to see if this is gonna fit real quick. Ground. I don't understand this connector. It's like it doesn't feel good to lift off. I think making progress, but it's just like you should never be pulling wires. You should be pulling the housing. You know what I mean? And yeah, I actually don't want to do that right now. I just feel like there's just like a million little tools that would be helpful. Yeah, this I'm just gonna look it up. Is the Asus TUF Game B550 plus Wi-Fi 2 an ATX or eATX motherboard? Part Picker should have told me if this was an incompatible thing. Yeah, it's ATX. It just looks so big to me. Okay. That says 12 volts. This is the time to look at the parts diagram or the motherboard diagram. Yeah. Which I conveniently saved. I think. Saved one. There's a couple. I'm just testing stuff. All this stuff's new to me. So, let's see. Just like looking at camera stuff. Okay. Yeah, this graph, I'm not seeing it. RGB connectors, maybe just missing it. Well, there's two. That's the one on the website. Yeah. Oh, I guess that's a screenshot I took, but there is one on the website, and then there's the one that's in the manual. Connectors with shared bandwidth. Let's see. 5 eATX 12 volt. Oh, I think they just go, there's 12 volts that goes there. Yeah, they're designed to go in only one orientation. Yada yada. EATX 12 volt. Like, does this go here? I'm being a little playful right now. Playful's not the right word, but I'm just like, I'm kind of silly. Like, sometimes it just helps me to like slow things down to like, just sort of fit around. So it looks like, would those pins fit there? I mean, it doesn't seem, it kind of seems right. It doesn't seem right. I'm looking at this cable, which is labeled, it's not labeled PCIe. It just says PCIe. Um, yeah. A lot of these cables, the cable thing was really frustrating me because I think they sent me one of the wrong cables. It's possible they didn't send me any of the wrong cables, but it's like because I don't know what I'm doing. All right, maybe this goes here. No, no. Right? No. Um, because I don't know what I'm doing, it's frustrating. I'm like, did they send me the wrong cables? It's just like never really super clear. Um, which is part of why, like, this build's a little expensive than I was originally going to start with. I was going to go super budget. But then it's like, okay, well, if you're going to go to all the trouble, you might as well just build the thing you want to build. That might have been the wrong decision in this case. I could have maybe like spent a little less money and um. Does this come with the motherboard? Like, what is this? I think that did come with the motherboard, but I don't remember what it's for. I should like watch one of those along, just like this is what all these cables are for. All right, we're just gonna plug the one in that I think should be plugged in. Um, which is on the motherboard is this. There's 8 total pins, female pins. Like it's a female housing, I guess. This would be the male housing, the one that said CPU. And um, and as you can see, the housing around these pins, right? This is the housing around all the pins. Then there's a housing around each pin, and each of those housings, those plastic, the polymer. I'm assuming it's a polymer, right? Polymer basically just means plastic. Um, they're different shapes. Like this one on the very end is rounded, sort of on the side that faces this other pin, right? And then this other housing is rectangular. There's another round, sort of round one at the end, or I don't know, maybe not rounded, but like what's the word, octagonal, hexagonal, some. There's more sides, less square. So yeah, so this should just. I don't know if it matters which side goes in which. On a quick search, I feel like it doesn't, but I could easily be wrong. Um, does CPU or PCIe go into the PSU? That's a ridiculous question. I'm nearly positive it doesn't matter. Is this the CPU or PCIe side of cable go into the PSU? The CPU or PCIe side of the cable is in the PSU and installed 8-pin in. The 6 plus 2-pin connector is intended for the GPU. The 8-pin end connects to the PSU. Well, that sort of tells me what maybe this is about. Because there's 2 here, and but then there's 8 there. I have 3 of those. And that's what makes me think they sent me the cables for an RM850X rather than an RM750X. Bloody. All right, I don't think it matters. But I'm just gonna. Is that what dude does?
Now you don't have a power switch. However, there's a few ways to power it, which I'll show you. Let's turn this off for the time being. So sometimes with powering your motherboards, they will provide a power button right here. We can push this and power on. However, if you do not have access to a power on switch and stuff, what do you?
I just want to be 100% on this now, and I'm just like. This is the thing about doing the first one. You're not going to break something. The first one of anything takes forever. At least it does for me. RM750X. Corsair RM750X. PSU to CPU cable. See what YouTube has to say about that. I think this person's video was helpful before. It's funny, I build lists and save these videos. I do have a public playlist right now, and none of them are my videos, and it's videos that might be helpful for this build. And I'll save all this stuff, and then when I'm actually doing it, I'm just can't be bothered to go look at my notes a lot of the time. Or the things that I've saved, unless you turn them into your own notes. Oh, this is the...
All of them are attached. So let's have a look here at motherboard and see which cables we need. First off, we need the 24-pin ADX cable that plugs in right here. We need the CPU power that's up here. There's an 8-pin that goes up there, and there's actually 2 of them on this motherboard. So I need 2 of those connectors.
COM. COM, I think, usually means ground. Do I need to ground anything? I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a short. I think I'm going to plug this in, plug everything in as if I'm going to boot it up, and then I'm going to make a short and be like, is this right? Yeah, I think that's the move. But I'll watch this guy's video first.
We'll only have 1, so just depending on your motherboard. I also need a
graphics card, you'll need that. This one is an 8-pin PCIe connector, and some graphics cards may have 2 of those. So,
That's why the connector's the same for some graphics cards, which is why, like, when I searched it, the LLM said it goes to the graphics card, which made me be like, what? But it's because some graphics cards have that.
I've got 1, if you have 2, you'll need 2 cables for that. So the other cable we're going to need is a SATA cable to give power to my lighting hub here for my ARGB lighting in the system. That plugs in right here. So if you have one of those, you'll probably need a SATA cable. Now, if you're also running a hard drive or solid state drive mounted in here, you're going to need a SATA cable for that as well. And I'm not going to be putting this in here, but if you do have that, one would plug here right at the top. So in your box, you're going to have a ton of cables, and you can go through them and pick out which ones you're going to be using. You can see that these are marked and tell you which cables they are, so it makes it easy. Here's the cable I'm using today, and let's go ahead and plug them into our power supply. So we'll start out with that 24-pin PX connector there, and the nice thing about this is it's all marked out where it goes on my power supply. So these say type 4 on the side, and you can see it says motherboard. So we're going to go ahead and plug those in. Make sure you're putting them in the correct direction, and they kind of snap when they go in there. So you'll hear a little pop, just like that. It's pretty quiet. And we'll put that one in there as well. Just like that, that's connected in there. That's the ATX 24 pin. So next up, we'll do the CPU cables. Again, I need 2 of them for my build. You might only need 1 of them for your build. Make sure you're grabbing the correct end as well, because they are slightly different. And these plug in right here on my power supply. It says CPU.
Oh man, I think I have it. All right, give me a second. I'm dealing with an odd situation. What? Yeah, all right. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Let's see why not. Can work. We'll be back in a few seconds. A minute anyway. Okay.
Both of those, and we're going to plug them in right here, just like that, and like that.
I missed that. So I was. Why is that on auto? Cool. All is right. World again.
You're going to grab both ends of your build. Make sure your PU cable there. That's the ATX 21 in there as well. Direction, and they kind of snap when they go in there. So you'll hear a little pop, just like that. It's pretty quiet. And we'll put that one in there as well, just like that. So that's
Yeah, so I'd buy motherboard. It's just a different layout. I think it'd be a little new, more new,
Again, I need 2 of them for my build. You might only need
or a little older.
But make sure you're grabbing the correct end as well, because they are slightly different. And these plug in right here on my power supply. It says CPU.
What do you mean make sure it's the right end? They're the same thing. Oh. They are not the thing. Right? Wait, what do we got here? the Type 4 in that. Okay, so the CPU. Okay, so this one of the housings is the housing clip on this one is more than twice the volume than this one. So the Type 4, this little clip part on top, is less than half the volume of the one that says CPU. So I think this one, the one that says CPU, is the one that plugs into the motherboard. This does not. Something doesn't track here. Yeah, I mean that one does. It does just slide right in. Oh no, I was looking at it backwards. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so that one slides right in, and the other one doesn't. I mean, you can always just try, right? You can always, like, I could probably be trying more. It's just, oh, that one plugs too. That one plugs in too. So it's really not clear.
You might only need one of them for your build. Grabbing the correct end as well because they are slightly different. And these plug in right here on power supply. It says CPU. So I'm going to grab both of those and we're going to plug them in right here. Just like that. And like that. And then the last cables, so I've got my PCIe cable for my graphics card. I've got a few slots for that. There's one up here and a couple down there. Let's go ahead and plug that in.
I'm just gonna ask it on the short. I don't know. See what y'all have to say. For now, this is the CPU one. And it is gonna go into the CPU slot. It feels like it doesn't fit. And you know it does. And it clicked. And does it matter which one in over here? I don't know. That one clicked. All right. So we're going to make a short and ask there, what else? I think I'm not going to, while we're here, I have two other projects that I need to do. And they don't have to do with this starter CAD PC. But I would need power. Could I get some power? Huh. Let's see. What is the range on that? Let's see if I can just use this power right here. I guess this will give me an opportunity to just show y'all what it is. So it's this right here. Plugged in the CPU, and then this cable runs all the way there, or it's the CPU there, and then this is the motherboard cable that I was using, that I was testing with the multimeter earlier. This is the GPU. Down there is where X, where I was confused. It's like it just doesn't feel like it goes all the way in. It only clicks on one side. And then like, what's this little yellow thing? Are those little hooks? I guess that's for spacing on some other motherboard. But yeah, everything's there. Let's see. Just gotta move stuff to and fro right now. How much slack does this have? Whoa. This is such a ridiculous thing I'm doing right now. Oh, I don't need this up here. Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Let's see what I can get working here. That can work. You are gonna come up and around. That's fine. see. Just to go off for a second. And it'll come back on, but I'll just get set up here. Let's go there. Boom. Boom. Yeah. What happens? What am I doing? Can go elsewhere. You know what? We're just going to call it a stream. We're calling it.